What's up guys, welcome to Maker's Best Friend. I'm George and I'm the maker of this channel. And the best friend, well, other than my sidekick in the shop, Ruby.
Hi Ruby.
And my kick-ass crafty wife, Michelle. The best friend is you guys, having you guys along for the ride of this Maker's Best Friend journey. Our goal is to build a sustainable side hustle around making, woodworking, metalworking, and all things DIY, as well as showing you guys how we can do it so that you can make it yourself. So a lot of people actually ask me how I got into this side hustle, how I ended up making all these things, how I come up with ideas. And the truth is, I never had any real woodworking training. I didn't have any family members as I was growing up to teach me how to do all this. And I only started getting into this about 3 years ago, way after college. 3 years ago, I came home from my full-time job and I decided it was time to pick up a hobby, to do something useful with all of my free extra time. At the same time, I wanted to surprise my little sister with a photography nook as her Christmas present that year. That was my first woodworking project ever. And I'm really proud of it, but there's a lot of things wrong with it at the same time. And ever since then, I was hooked. And I started building project after project, learning how to make new thing after new thing, and building up the Maker's Best Friend shop. So, how do we get to this point? I'm gonna be showing you guys this through all of my YouTube videos and all the different projects that build up to this point of our shop, and we're gonna keep growing. But today, I thought it'd be cool to show you guys a tour of the one-car garage shop that we've built to this point to sustain all of these projects. And how do we get all of these tools that we're going through today? With every single commission from a project, I would actually take that money and put it back into the business to buy these tools to get to this point so we can make bigger and better projects. And we're gonna keep building even more. Wait for it, there's gonna be some awesome stuff coming down the line. Starting at the end that's closest to the garage door, I actually have my chop saw. This works out really well because this probably makes some of the most amount of dust, and I connect the shop back to it and everything, but it still creates a mess, so it's easiest to kind of get it out with some airflow. This is a DeWalt 12-inch double beveling chop saw, and every single one of these tools I'm going to link down below so you guys can check it out for yourself. And I actually didn't start with this. I started with the Harbor Freight, real cheap chop saw that you can get with 20% off. And I ended up selling that. I remember that did the job, but it wasn't, it's Harbor Freight. But I was able to sell that tool for almost the exact amount of money I paid for it because it was already assembled, and I strained it out for the guy and made sure it was all nice and clean. So that really helped when I needed to upgrade to this DeWalt, and this one's been kicking butt and doing great for me. So love this chop saw. Behind it, I have a DIY lumber storage rack that I built. Check out that video linked above. And I'll show you, I have another lumber storage rack that we purchased, and this one I actually prefer a lot more. I was able to set the shelves further apart to fit a lot more wood. There's 2x4s that are connected with half lap joints, which makes it really, really strong. You can see I have a whole bunch of wood stacked up. I try not to throw away any wood, especially with how lumber prices are right now. So as many lumber storage solutions as I can find, I try to make. Let's go over here now. So this is really exciting. So this is my brand new SawStop table saw. I love this. This took a while to get to, and I remember I saw on YouTube all of my biggest favorite YouTubers to watch, all of them getting into some type of finger accident within the same week. And I decided, okay, it's not worth it. I like to play piano, I like to play sports, need my fingers, nobody wants to lose their fingers. It was worth the investment, and let me tell you, this is the best table saw I think I've ever used. It's 36 inches, so that way it could fit for my dartboards that I build, if you check out my Instagram page. It's a 3 horsepower one. I stepped it up, installed the electrical I needed to run this baby, and this was the best decision of my shop so far. Absolutely love it. Let me know if you have any questions below, because I never ordered something with freight shipping before, and I was nervous about how big it was, if I can carry it, all that kind of stuff. Worked out really well. One of my favorite tools of the shop for sure. So I'm about to show you, not the cleanest part of my shop, but one that's been useful. At the other end of the garage, I have a shelf. Very simple. We don't have to go over this much, but I'm just showing you guys. It's where I keep all of my paints, all of my lacquers and polys up top here. Have these awesome DeWalt organization shelves that I'm probably gonna build. I've seen people do these mobile, drawer organizations for that. So I might build that so it'll be a lot easier to pull them out and use them. There's some tools on here that I haven't built a cart yet for, like the joiner. I got a Dremel tool. Just holds a bunch of miscellaneous stuff until I have a better place in the shop, or hopefully one day a bigger shop to be able to organize it. So that's this area right here. Now, we move on past the shelf to one of my favorite projects that was recent. So this is a tool flip table. It's on wheels that lift up so that they're off the ground and it's nice and stable, or you pick it up and you can move it around. If you guys that have a smaller shop like I do understand the importance of having your tools on some type of wheeled mobile structure like this. And so now you get two tools in one with this tool, because you take out the pins. Put that in here for now. All of you guys that have a planer out there know how, like, if you pick it up off the ground and like set up every time, it like breaks your back every time. So that was the reason I put it on this shelf, as well as this router table. I never ended up using the router table because it was like always out of the way, so I ended up using it by hand. But now that I have it on this tool stand, it works really well. And look how easy it is to flip it over onto the other side. And now the planer's on top. And you just put the bolts right in. Simple. I'm just gonna close the garage now because there's like dogs barking constantly in my neighbor's yards, and it's gonna ruin all of this audio we're trying to fix here. Okay, so now we can wheel this out of the way when we need to, when it's not being used. Okay, so this was one of my first purchases from a long time ago. It's just a tool chest. It's on wheels. It's not the best one. It does a job. I'm not paying thousands of dollars like some people for like one of those really nice ones. On top I have the Harbor Freight sander and a drill press. And these are like my favorite cheap products, to be honest. If you're just getting new into it and you're sanding a lot and like your hand starts to cramp a lot because you're using like the hand sanders, you should really invest in one of these. It'll save your joints over a long period of time. And it works phenomenal. Just make sure you hook up a shop vac because this makes so much dust. It's like so bad for you. So make sure you have a shop vac connected with the sander. And then the drill press is a Wen drill press. It won't be able to do anything intense either. So make sure if you're getting this, it's just for beginners. There's much better ones out there for more advanced workers. All right, guys, this is another one I had to save up for a very long time to get, and I couldn't be happier. This is my Jet bandsaw. I think this is like a 14-inch width, and the reason I wanted this is because I actually cut up a tree in my backyard and I want to be able to resaw it. So and not only that, having a bandsaw, it changes like everything with your projects. You start to cut out templates on it, quicker cuts. I use this to actually make those beer tap handles that I made for my brother-in-law. Make sure you check out that video if you want to see this thing in action, because it was sick. It cut up this giant log from my backyard, like no problem, very hard wood, and it's a beast. This is easily one of my favorite purchases for the shop. Again, another upgrade. Every day we're building up to get better and better and just create better projects for myself, for you guys, for our customers, for our families and friends, for everybody. So definitely one of my favorite tools in the shop. Now, this next machine is actually what I got started on. It was a Kickstarter that I invested into at the time, and I had no tools when I first started with this machine. It is the Maslow CNC, also known as the Maker-Made CNC. So if you haven't seen all of my beginning videos, how I got started on YouTube, how I really got more and more invested into making. This is a giant 4x8 CNC milling machine. This is a router connected to a sled on top, and I just program it to cut whatever shapes I want. I made my niece this rocking horse for Christmas one time. Used this to cut out all the shapes. You can kind of see that this is the scrap board at the end of it. This is a beast, and it's a very low cost machine. I actually have a discount code. Check it out. I'll post it real quick here and also down below. If you want to get started in CNCing and are trying to save on money, this is the tool for you. If you're trying to run a business and you need something repeatable and like really professional, maybe there's other options that are more expensive, and I have another one over here we'll talk about. But if you just want to get started making stuff for yourself, want to just get started with CNCing and want to save on cost, you can't beat this with 4x8. These run for thousands and thousands of dollars to get a 4x8 CNC machine. So make sure you guys check this out, links below. Now, behind This is like one of my favorite things I end up doing as well. Everything's like a favorite thing, sorry, but I love this, I love all of this. So I have the machine on wheels as well. And behind, I'm not gonna move it all because it's really heavy at the same time. Behind my actual Maslow CNC, I use this as plywood storage. So same way in the front that we use plywood to cut the sheets out, I created extra brackets on the bottom that actually let me store plywood. And then you can see in the back, I have another lumber storage rack. That's the one that I actually purchased. I think it was from Amazon or from Depot, and I'll have it linked below if you're not looking to make your own. But that one was like $10 of materials, right? So the 2x4 one, was like $10 of material. These run for like 50 bucks. And I don't know if you can tell, this one holds so much more wood. Like so much more wood. So to me, it's like a no-brainer. Check out that video, make your own one, a lot easier. If you, for some reason, want the fancy looking orange ones like this, I'll link it below. You can buy that yourself too. But I use them both, I like them both. I need more wood storage because I have lots and lots of projects. Okay, now, so we're gonna look at this side of the shop again, and you're gonna see my wall. My wall I'm still working on it, but I'm very happy with what I got it to so far. So I have 3 of these tool wall organization stations. Really easy build out of plywood again, and it helped organize my shop past anything I could have ever imagined. You see I have some extra slots up here for a variety of tools. This fits all of my Ryobi tools. I have one over here that fits all of my DeWalt tools. And then I have this wall hanging solution that I actually really don't use as much as I use these. I kind of wish I actually used the money to make my own French cleat wall hanging system, and I'll probably do that one day. This is pretty cool. I have the logo system up here, and then I just have a variety of tools that I kind of grab all the time, so I kind of just want it a little bit more accessible with some shelves and stuff like that. So tool organization is key to like getting so much faster in the shop, and we're gonna keep building on that. If you guys have anything you suggest for improving as you see my flip table or these tool organizations, let me know. I'm always looking for like the best ways to make a one-car shop work best for the business. So, all right guys, so we're coming towards the end here. Everybody out there, and I actually recommend this. A lot of people actually build their own workbench. I actually have a very old one that I called the Ultimate Workbench. You should check it out. It was a fun build. It's a good one for like a beginner, but there's a lot better out there. And what I realized was with the prices of wood, it's actually a lot cheaper to get these Harbor Freight workbenches. I think this goes for like 80 bucks, but then you get the 20% off if you find the deal. I actually got 2 of them. So I have 2 of these workbenches. They have these like old style, but really great wood clamps on the side that I use. I really use this all the time just for like quickly grabbing like a piece of wood. And the nice thing about it being wood, it doesn't really damage it. A bunch of holes so you could have your like work holding structures to the actual workbench. You can see it's all painted and stuff, but it still works great. I often sand it down and smooth it down flat. It comes with 4 drawers. Each of my drawers has like a very messy organization station, but I know where everything is. Okay, let's go to the end. Here we go. So now we're at the other end of the shop. You might have noticed along the walls are these green tubes for my dust vac. This is one of those Harbor Freight 2 horsepower dust collectors. Works great, mounted to the wall, connected there so that it'll come down to my bandsaw, my saw stop, my CNC. So this is just gonna be making it easier to keep the shop clean, as little sawdust as possible. I have hanging here all of my protection gear because I just like to remember it as I walk into the shop. So I have hearing protection from IsoTunes. I have a sawdust mask. Really important stuff, guys. Like when I first got started, I really didn't care about safety or like look into it as much. And I have asthma, and I noticed instantly it was like damaging me. So make sure, you know, if you're new to this, to use the proper protection, clean up the dust, look into like the safety stuff. It really does matter. So we have another desk here, but we're not gonna look too much at it because it's a mess. I have my coffee on it, and we already saw one of those. So it's the same thing, just on that side. This is actually kind of cool. on this edge here of the workbench is a center finder. So this part extrudes from the square, and you can actually just, you take a piece of wood to it, you tap it in one direction, you flip it, okay? And then it actually marks, there's an X that was indented, and that is now the center of the piece. It's meant for more circles, but it works for this as well. That's a fun little like $10 thing that saves a lot of time if you're always looking for the center. I used it a lot for the Thor mallets that I made to send to the Marines in the Dallas before I drilled the holes. Check out that video as well. Lots of videos, lots of self brags going on here. Okay, so on the wall here, this is a clamp holding structure that really isn't one. This is actually a giant sled that I used to make a river table computer desk for my buddy. Again, another video linked. But this worked out really well because I didn't want to get rid of it in case I do have any more river tables or anything else at the flatten. This is actually the sled that rides on the edges. So this rides on the edges of this flattening jig, you put on top, and it actually helps you flatten any piece of slab of wood you're working on. But as you can see, it works great and when I'm storing it as a clamp holding structure. Love it. Dual purpose, works really well. Now, finally, the last thing in the shop is another CNC machine. So one thing you're gonna find out about this channel, we do a lot of stuff by hand, but we're not afraid to get into using automated tools and new technologies. I really think that's the future of like taking us to another level of doing stuff. So I love doing hand masonry type of stuff, but we have CNC machines, we have laser machines, that's in a different room, so we're not gonna show it today. If you wanna see what the home office looks like with the laser machines and the 3D printers, let me know and we'll go check that out. We're not afraid, and this is how we're gonna take it to the next level. And I'm hoping I get to teach you guys, I'll show you guys a little bit of both, some of the hand tools and some of the machines as well. So inside here is our Shapeoko CNC machine. Thanks again to Winston. Winston helped me get accustomed to the making world in the beginning, and he actually gifted me his old Shapeoko, which, you know, I'm so thankful for because it really helped me step up my game. It's a smaller one, but we use it all the time for making smaller pieces that need a little bit more fine detail that can't be mounted with a Maslow vertically. As you can tell, it's very heavily used. We use it all the time for anything we've modeled on the computer. At the top here is actually the computer we use to control it. Old one from my college that is still lasting to this day. And this is an enclosure that he actually built, and we brought it over to the shop, and it keeps it nice and quiet. And of course on the top we have a nice TV because, you know, when I'm doing different tasks in here, like the corked dartboards that take like hours, but like there's no safety concerns, I'm not cutting my fingers off. It's nice to throw on some TV, watch some YouTube videos, see what other people are learning. All right, that's the wood workshop, guys. I hope this helped any of you guys with one car garage understand what you can do with the right organization. And it really just takes planning, right, to make the shop you need. All these tools are specific to the projects I like to make. Yours might look different. I'd love to see what you guys do. I'd love to hear and connect with you guys as makers and DIYers. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and support us and follow us along on our journey. Again, you guys are our maker's best friend. Come join me and the family as we come and create all of these projects and share with you guys along our journey. As always, thanks again for watching, guys. Peace.